The house was silent after midnight, the kind of silence that isn't peaceful, just empty. The refrigerator hummed softly. A car passed outside and disappeared. He sat on the edge of his bed, phone in hand, scrolling without paying attention. Then the screen lit up. Dad calling. He stared at it. No fear, no anger, just hesitation. His dad didn't call often anymore. Not since the divorce. Not since life split into separate paths that barely crossed. The phone rang again. He imagined the conversation before it happened. Small talk, long pauses, questions about work, maybe a joke that wouldn't land. He let the call go unanswered. "I'll call back later," he whispered. The screen went dark. Later always felt safe. After the divorce, everyone said it was mature. Clean. No drama. No fighting. Just paperwork and distance. But distance doesn't stay small. At first, they talked weekly, then monthly, then only when something reminded his dad to reach out. His dad never complained. Never asked why the calls stopped. Never guilt him. He just stayed there. Available. That made it easier to ignore. The next morning, a text waited on his phone. "Dad, hope you slept well. Call me when you get a chance." He read it while brushing his teeth, staring at the reflection in the mirror. "I will," he said quietly. He didn't. Work filled the day. Emails, noise, deadlines, distractions piled high enough to bury guilt. That night, another message arrived. "Dad, found your old baseball glove today. Still can't believe how protective you were of that thing." He smiled. The memory came back instantly, dusty fields, sunburned afternoons, his dad cheering louder than anyone else. His chest tightened. He typed a reply, then erased it. Replying felt heavier than silence. He placed the phone face down. Later, weeks passed. His dad sent messages occasionally. Not too many, just enough to remind him that someone was still there. "Did you eat today? Weather's getting cold. Don't forget your jacket. Hope work's going okay." Each message felt like a quiet knock on a door he refused to open. He told himself his dad understood. That older people expected distance. That this was normal. Sometimes, late at night, he wondered if his dad sat alone rereading unanswered texts. He pushed the thought away. One evening at the grocery store, an old neighbor recognized him. "How's your dad doing?" she asked casually. He paused. "He's fine," he replied. The word meant nothing. That night, he opened his messages and scrolled up. Months of one-sided conversation. Birthdays. Holidays. Simple updates. Near the top, an old message stood out. "Proud of you." His throat tightened. His phone buzzed. Dad calling. This time, he stared longer. He imagined his dad waiting on the other end, sitting quietly, hoping. The ringing stopped. Missed call. "I'll call tomorrow," he whispered. For the first time, tomorrow felt fragile. Sleep came in pieces. He dreamed of hallways with doors labeled later. Every door led to another hallway. When he woke, his chest felt heavy. He checked his phone. No new messages. The silence felt wrong. At noon, his phone rang. Unknown number. He almost ignored it. "Hello," he said. A calm voice asked, "Are you related to Daniel Carter?" The world narrowed. "Yes, this is Officer Reynolds. I'm calling about your father." Everything after that arrived in fragments. A concerned neighbor. No response at the door. A welfare check. The words were careful. Measured. Still devastating. The phone slipped from his hand. He sat frozen, staring at nothing. I should have answered. I should have called back. When the call ended, the room felt unreal. He opened his messages. Scrolled. The last text sat there unchanged. Sent 2 days earlier. "Dad, call me when you get time. I really miss you." He read it again. Then again. He typed. "Dad?" No reply. He called. Voicemail. For the first time in months, he wanted the phone to ring more than anything. It didn't. That night, he replayed every ignored call, every delayed response. His dad hadn't been checking in. He had been holding on, quietly. Sometimes there is more time. Until suddenly, there isn't. The days after felt unreal. Like life was moving, but he wasn't inside it. People spoke to him slowly, carefully, as if he might break. He nodded when expected, answered when necessary, but nothing truly reached him. Everything sounded distant, muffled, like he was underwater. At night, the silence was worse. He lay awake replaying moments he never thought would matter. The ignored calls, the unfinished replies, the way he always chose later over now. He kept opening his phone, scrolling through old messages, hoping something would change. Hoping a new text would appear. Hoping reality would undo itself. It never did. At the service, people shared stories he had never heard. Stories about how his dad helped neighbors quietly. How he talked about his son with pride. How he always said he's busy, but I know he cares. That sentence stayed with him. Later, alone in his dad's apartment, he noticed how tidy everything was. The sink was clean. The trash was taken out. Nothing looked rushed. Nothing looked chaotic. It scared him, because it meant his dad hadn't been asking for help loudly. He had been preparing quietly. On the table sat a folded note. Short. Simple. No blame. Just love. His hands shook as he read it. That was when the truth finally landed. Silence doesn't always mean strength. Sometimes it means someone is running out of hope. And sometimes, the people who love us most leave the softest signals. Trusting we'll notice before it's too late. After the service, life didn't slow down the way he expected it to. Bills still arrived. Traffic still moved. People still laughed around him. That confused him the most. He spent days inside his dad's apartment, sorting through drawers and boxes filled with ordinary things. Old receipts, worn jackets, photos that smelled faintly of dust and time. Every object felt like a sentence his dad never finished. In the bedroom closet, he found a box labeled Keep. Inside were birthday cards he had sent as a kid, school photos, a folded program from his graduation. At the bottom sat a small notebook. Most pages were empty, but the ones that weren't stopped him cold. They weren't dramatic. No big speeches. Just short thoughts written on quiet days. Miss him today. Hope he's eating well. Didn't want to bother him again. The dates ran close together near the end. His chest tightened. This wasn't someone giving up loudly. This was someone slowly convincing himself he was in the way. That realization hurt more than anything else. He remembered every time he'd thought, he knows I care. Every time he'd assumed silence was understood. It wasn't. That night, back home, he sat alone and scrolled through his call history. Dozens of missed chances. Each one harmless on its own. Devastating together. He typed a message into his phone. I'm sorry. I should have been there. I love you. There was no send button that mattered anymore. For the first time, he understood something painful and permanent. Love doesn't disappear when you stay quiet, but people can start believing they don't matter when you do. And once that belief settles in, it doesn't need anger to grow. It only needs silence. In the weeks that followed, his mind began doing something cruel. It replayed memories, but differently. Moments that once felt ordinary now carried weight. Tone changes he had ignored. Pauses he had rushed past. Questions that weren't really questions at all. He remembered one phone call months ago. One he had answered. His dad's voice sounded tired. Not sad, just worn down in a way that felt unfamiliar. Everything okay? He'd asked casually. Yeah, his dad replied. Just one of those days. He hadn't asked more. At the time, it seemed respectful. Giving space. Not prying. Now, it felt like abandonment. He started noticing patterns. How his dad stopped talking about the future. How plans were always vague. How phrases like, it's fine and don't worry about me appeared more often. They weren't reassurance. They were shields. His dad had never wanted to be a burden. Never wanted to pull attention away from his son's life. So he shrank himself quietly, believing that was love. That realization sat heavy. One evening, he found an old voicemail he had never opened. His finger hovered over it for a long time. When he finally pressed play, the message was short. Hey, just checking in. No need to call back if you're busy. Just wanted to hear your voice." The message ended abruptly, like his dad had decided mid-sentence not to say more. He sat there long after it finished, staring at the wall. That was the moment he truly understood. The signs weren't hidden. They were gentle. And gentle signs are the easiest to miss, especially when you believe love will always wait. But love doesn't wait forever. Sometimes it grows quiet. Sometimes it steps back. And sometimes it disappears without ever making a sound. Days passed, but time didn't move forward. It folded in on itself. Everywhere he went, reminders followed, small, ordinary things that now felt enormous. The chair his dad always chose. The way he used to clear his throat before speaking. The habit of pausing, as if measuring whether his words were worth saying out loud. He realized something painful. His dad hadn't wanted to disappear. He had wanted to matter without asking. That night, he opened his notes app and began typing a message he would never send. "Hey Dad, I should have listened better. I should have asked twice. I thought giving space was kindness. I didn't know it felt like distance to you." The words came slowly, then all at once. "You didn't fail me. You taught me how to be patient, how to show up, how to stay calm when things felt heavy. I just wish I'd shown you the same." He stopped typing when his hands began to shake. For the first time since everything changed, he let himself cry, not from shock, not from confusion, but from understanding. He finally understood that love isn't just being there when someone speaks loudly. It's hearing the quiet. The next morning, he did something different. He called his mom, then his uncle, then an old friend he hadn't spoken to in years. Not because he needed answers, but because he didn't want silence to win again. He started checking in more, asking real questions, waiting for real answers. And when someone said, "I'm fine," he learned to ask, "Are you really?" He began carrying his dad's lesson forward, not the ending, but the warning. That people don't always ask for help the way we expect. That strength can look like withdrawal. And that love, when left unspoken, can be mistaken for absence. Some nights were still heavy, but now, when that weight returned, he didn't face it alone. And slowly, quietly, he became the person he wished he had been sooner. Life didn't magically improve after that realization. Healing wasn't a straight line. It came in waves, some small, some overwhelming. Some mornings, he woke up feeling almost normal. Other mornings, the grief hit before his feet even touched the floor. But something had changed. He stopped running from the quiet. Instead of filling every moment with noise, he let himself sit with his thoughts. And in that silence, memories surfaced, not the painful ones, but the gentle ones. His dad teaching him how to tie his shoes. The way he laughed at his own jokes. The proud nod he gave when words weren't necessary. He realized grief wasn't just sadness. It was love with nowhere to go. So he gave it somewhere. He started writing letters, not just to his dad, but to himself. Short notes. Honest ones. "You're allowed to feel this. You're not weak for missing him. You're learning." He framed one sentence on his wall. "Say it now. Don't wait." And he lived by it. He told people when he appreciated them, when he was struggling, when something hurt instead of pretending it didn't. It felt uncomfortable at first, like walking without armor. But slowly, it felt lighter. One evening, he sat on the porch where his dad used to stand, watching the sky change colors. The air was quiet, but it didn't feel empty anymore. He whispered, not expecting an answer. "I get it now. Not everything. Not fully. But enough. Enough to stop pushing people away. Enough to show up when things felt awkward or hard. Enough to understand that love doesn't need perfect timing, just honesty." That night, for the first time in a long while, he slept without replaying the past. Not because it didn't matter anymore, but because it had taught him something worth carrying forward. A few weeks later, something unexpected happened. Someone reached out. It was an old family friend, someone who had known his dad long before he ever existed. They asked if he wanted to grab coffee. No big reason given. Just to talk. He almost said no. Old habits tried to pull him back into isolation. But this time, he went. They sat across from each other, hands wrapped around warm mugs, the silence stretching comfortably between them. Then the friend said something that stopped him cold. "Your dad talked about you all the time." He blinked. "What?" "He was proud of you. Not in a loud way, but in that quiet way where he didn't need anyone else's approval." The friend smiled sadly. He worried he didn't say it enough. That sentence landed harder than anything else, because it mirrored his own regret. They talked for over an hour, about small things, about nothing important, about everything. And before they parted ways, the friend said one last thing. "He thought you were stronger than you realized, and kinder than the world would ever give you credit for." That night, he sat alone and let those words settle. For the first time, grief didn't feel like punishment. It felt like connection, like proof that love had existed, even if it hadn't always been spoken out loud. He stopped blaming himself for not seeing every sign, stopped replaying every moment, searching for a way to rewrite the ending. Some things aren't meant to be fixed. They're meant to be understood. He realized his dad hadn't left him empty-handed. He had left him a responsibility to be present, to be open, to say the things that matter before time decides for you. And for the first time since everything changed, he felt something close to peace. Not happiness, but acceptance. Years later, people would say he healed. They'd say it like healing meant forgetting, like it meant moving on, like it meant the ache disappeared. It didn't. It just changed shape. On the outside, life kept going. New routines, new conversations, new responsibilities. He laughed again. He built a future. He became someone his younger self would have admired. But some nights still felt unfinished. One evening, while cleaning out an old drawer, he found it. A folded piece of paper, yellowed at the edges. His dad's handwriting. It wasn't a letter, just a list. Groceries. A reminder to fix the porch light. And at the bottom, almost as an afterthought, call him tomorrow. No dramatic goodbye. No explanation. Just that. Tomorrow never came. He sat there longer than he meant to, holding that paper like it might change something if he stared hard enough. And that's when the dilemma hit him, the one that still visits when the world goes quiet. What if nothing was wrong enough to notice? What if love doesn't always wave red flags? What if the people we lose weren't asking to be saved, but simply hoping to be seen? He realized something terrifying. If he had said one more sentence, asked one more question, answered that call tomorrow, everything might be different. Or maybe it wouldn't. And that uncertainty, that maybe, was the part he would carry forever. Now, whenever he ends a conversation, he does something different. He pauses. He breathes. And he says the words people usually save for later. "I love you. I'm glad you're here. You matter to me." Not because he's afraid of loss, but because he knows how permanent silence can be. And if there's one thing he's learned, it's that the heaviest regrets aren't the things we did wrong. They're the moments we thought we had more time for.